Alright, time for another Rob is ranting vid. I'm not drunk this time. Completely sober. I have been spending the last probably hour going through the internet trying to get the final lowdown on the Maine caucuses, the Maine Caucus for, the Republican Maine Caucus. I don't want you to think I'm saying Maine without the E in it, the state of Maine. Anyway, this is tough. A lot of people don't like to use YouTube videos as news. Completely understand. YouTube is not a news station. I get you. But if somebody creates a YouTube video that is a compilation of videos from news agencies, I can't see how that makes it any less factual just because it's on YouTube. Now, if you still want to hold that, I don't care. I know a lot of videos are created in a way to to sway you one way, and they may leave other stuff out. Guess what? Any major network news organization does the same exact thing. So if you don't know that, I figured I'd just let you be informed of that. Okay, so here's the deal. From everything I just read, that chairman for whatever his title is, I am not a political analyst. I'm getting old, so I don't have a very good memory, and I'm definitely not taking notes before I make these videos. So bear with me. But the chairman that ran the caucus up in Maine, I'm going to assume, because I believe the date was March 10th, which is another big date for voting, obviously. But I believe that's the day that they're going to start the investigation into what the hell happened up in Maine and why he decided to just leave counties completely out of his initial count, and then say that Washington County, who didn't vote due to a huge snowstorm that was supposed to hit and that didn't, that even if they held the voting for Washington County, that he wasn't going to include it. Now on the other side, because I don't want my video to seem like it's one-sided, depending on what news site you go to for what numbers of each of the counties in Maine, it did look like there was no way Ron Paul was going to pull out enough votes in Washington County to overturn and win the state of Maine. So I can understand maybe why the chairman, or whatever his title is, why he said that. The problem here is that there's too much stuff that went on. There's videos you can look up, because it's not as it's 2012. And we are running elections very old school, which is fine, but I had no idea that a dude actually picks up a phone after counting votes and calls in somewhere and says, hey, I've got these votes for this county. And you can look up on YouTube. I'm not going to post any links, okay? I would prefer if you guys found this stuff for yourself. If you don't believe me, look it up. If you do believe me, look it up. But it literally, he tells the news reporter or whatever, yeah, I called up to give my votes, and the dude said, oh, I've got your votes. And he's like, oh, really? You already have my votes? But I'm the guy that's supposed to call you and give you my votes. How do you have my votes when I haven't done that? And the dude's like, yeah, I've got them right here. Let me read them to you. And he reads them off, and they're not the numbers that he's about to give to him. They're completely different. So you have cases where the numbers aren't correct. I don't want to say if they were tampered with, but according to people that it's their job to count these things and then pass it on, the numbers weren't correct. And then you have other cases where You got big goose eggs for counties instead of votes. You've got 0 votes completely for everybody, for all the candidates. And that's what was counted. So you've got 2 different things going on there. And then you've got the whole Washington County thing, which they did hold their stuff. And this is one video I want to play for you. I can't hit the front facing, so I'm gonna have to turn this so you can see it. But here we go. You'll be able to hear it at least.
They've seen in recent years, but they had nowhere near the crowds that had been predicted. And then, as he told us last week on this show that he would do, the county chairman from Washington County told the world what had happened there.
We had 4 votes for Newton Gingrich. We had 57 votes for Rick Santorum. We had 80 votes for Mitt Romney and 163 votes for Ron.
All right.
Ron Paul skunked Mitt Romney in Washington County, Maine.
Yes, he did. Okay, now look. I'm not hiding the fact that I'm a Ron Paul supporter. But, here's my problem. Yes, that one county may have been the only county where Ron Paul beat the second place guy by more than double his votes. Okay? That could be the case. But I'm gonna have a hard time believing that's the case. That's not, that is the case where Ron Paul was beaten in every other county. And he wasn't. There are other counties where he won, but that the numbers are accurate in all of those other counties when everything that you're looking at shows you that you just shouldn't believe any of the numbers. Now, I believe the numbers from Washington County were probably correct because it was, a week later, and all eyes were on them because of the stuff that had come out over the week and how screwed up they had done. So I do believe that the votes were probably accurate as hell, because there were probably tons of people making sure it was done correctly. But what about the rest of the state? What about all of the other votes? I have a hard time believing that the votes that were previously taken were tallied correctly. I'm sorry, you can call it a conspiracy theory all you want. Look, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a fucking duck. It really is. And it's not a freaking conspiracy theory, okay? I have a hard time believing it. Now, what I want to show you is, and if I can show you by turning it, just typing in certain things into Google or into YouTube. YouTube, obviously, you'll find what you're looking for. Google, it's pretty hard, because I was trying to find stuff through the Associated Press about this. And I typed in Associated Press, Maine Caucus fraud. There was nothing. There was nothing. Maybe somebody else can search better than me. I was only using Google. I didn't go to the Associated Press site. But there was nothing linked with the Associated Press, and there being any sort of scandal or fraud or anything from the Associated Press on a search engine. Now, as soon as you take out Associated Press, you get a million things. And whether you want to regard half of those or more as factual news agencies, I'm good with that. But there were more than enough that were actual. We're talking about CBS affiliates, NBC affiliates, tons of stuff that was reporting this. But just small network affiliates, not like the major stuff. Now, MSNBC, Rachel Maddow, I don't know her that well. She's been all over this. You can find tons of videos by her on YouTube or wherever, I'm sure, that she's not what I saw in the videos, and I have no idea who she is, or I don't really follow her. But for her thing, she said it right away too. This isn't a Ron Paul thing. This is a how in the fuck are we running these elections type thing, and it needs to be revamped. Obviously, I don't know if it'll happen before the election. Obviously, it won't. But I want to show you if I can bring it up. I typed in Maine, Iowa caucus. All right, and this is, what's the date today? Today is March 6th. All right, and Typed in Maine, Iowa caucus, and I want to show you what comes up on the Associated Press, if it'll show. All right. If I can get this to focus. Yep, okay, there we go. All right. That's from February 11th. All right. Now, yeah, it shows Romney winning, beating Ron Paul by, 239 votes. All right. You know, and that's fine. I believe it depends on what news site you go to now. But it looks like Romney won by 100 votes. Whether it's 140, whether it's 103, it depends on what news agency pretty much you're going to. So I don't know where each of these news agencies are getting their numbers. But my point is, it's March 6th, and the Associated Press, the main thing that comes up, it's the first thing that comes up on Google, and it's from freaking February 11th. And it shows 87% of precincts reporting. Why haven't they updated it? I'm not saying it's a conspiracy theory. I'm just saying it's the fucking Associated Press. Is there a dude there doing something about this? I mean, who updates their shit? Has it just not updated for a search engine? I can't believe that's the case, but maybe it is. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. I'm not an expert at frickin' search engines or anything like that. I'm a normal dude who likes to look stuff up and, you know, and make videos of myself ranting, I guess. But yeah, I mean, voter fraud and Maine Caucus investigated. You know, there's tons of stuff, but you can't find it on any of the major news organizations. So I guess my point to this, other than me ranting, is if you've always felt that people like me, who are almost against the major news outlets here in the U.S., if you felt that we're being crazy, here's a good thing to try and look up for yourself. Try and get some factual information about this yourself, and only stick to the main media and see what you find. And then as soon as you take that main media out of the search engine, see what you find. And then look up who they're getting their stuff from, their references, their sources. And you might, I don't want to say you'll change your mind, but hopefully open yourself up to other stuff other than the mainstream media. So yeah. So hopefully March 10th proves to be a banner day for Ron Paul. Let's hope. But there you go. Rant over.